So today we are on this YouTube channel right here called Tolkien Clips that I did want to talk about because they had a video that I thought was very, very interesting, and it was this one right here. It was T1 Rekkles visited me. You can see I got the red bar on this because I just watched this entire video, and I definitely recommend you guys go check it out as well. I'll try to remember to link it down in the description below so you guys can go watch it. It is an interview with Rekkles at Worlds. Obviously, he is with T1. He is at Worlds, so everyone's getting a chance in Europe to see him again, to talk to him once again, and obviously so many people for the past year or so that it's been so far since Rekkles has been gone, so many Western fans, both European and North American fans alike, have missed Rekkles, have wanted to hear more from him, have been wondering what's going on with him, and getting a chance to interview him and hear from him directly about how his time in Korea is going, what he thinks about the future and all that stuff is very, very exciting. I'm a big Rekkles fan. Rekkles is probably like my second favorite player ever. Obviously Bjergsen being my favorite player, but Rekkles is a very, very close second. He's a guy I'd have loved to follow his whole career. I'd love to see all his interviews, all the tidbits, all that stuff. So I thought this was very, very cool that we actually got to see a interview directly from Rekkles. And again, he does talk about some of his future plans, how things are going, how he feels. And I thought this was very, very interesting. One of the big first takeaways was he said his AD carry at T1 Academy or T1 Esports Academy or whatever they're calling it, Smash. He says that this guy is one of the best AD carries that he has seen, and just he has super, super high praise for this guy. He says he hopes that him and Smash will be able to continue their journeys together. He really wants to play with this guy. He thinks so highly of him. And again, Rekkles obviously being a historic AD carry himself, it means a lot when he says that somebody is a very, very talented and very amazing AD carry player and one of the best AD carry players he's ever seen. And again, this kid is 18 years old. This is insane. Born in 2006. How old does that make you feel? He's born in 2006, 18 years old, and Rekkles really, really enjoys playing with him and loves the time that they've spent together over the past year. And again, like you said, hopes that they can move forward together in the future. Again, obviously your bot lane partner, your bot lane duo, especially for somebody so young in their support career like Rekkles, he hasn't had a ton of different bot lane duos and partners and all that stuff. I'm sure he has an extra connection with this kid, especially if he does really, really believe in him. And that's obviously another thing that Rekkles talks about, is that interesting dynamic they have going on where a lot of these other guys, they're kids, they're 18, 19, 20, whatever. And Rekkles, I think, is 28, talking about how, there's that kind of mentorship and leadership. He's showing them how some things are done, but also they're teaching him a ton of stuff as well about how to play the game the proper way. And they have the coaching staff, and they have the Korean lifestyle and Korean solo queue and all that stuff. So I did think that was very, very interesting. Of course, also for T1, Smash is set to be a free agent, or not set to be a free agent necessarily, but his contract is expiring for T1 this year, so it'll definitely be interesting to see what happens there. But obviously Rekkles is signed with T1 until 2025, so there are a lot of people wondering what the future has in store for Rekkles. Why is he over in Korea? What is the point of all this? Is he going to try and move up into the LCK? Is that his main goal? Does he want to learn as much as he can over in Korea, then come back to Europe and help them accelerate European League of Legends to the next level, blah blah blah, whatever? And he does talk about that in this interview as well. He does say, one, I thought it was very interesting. He says he wishes he would have went to Korea even earlier in his career, even when he was younger, because he does say, hey, I'm 28, I don't have infinite amount of time. I don't have the rest of my life. I'm on a certain time frame. I'm on a certain clock here. And he says he wished he would have started this sooner so he could go through all of this. But he does say he feels like once you go to Korea, there's no point in coming back to Europe, no point in coming back to the West. And I'm sure he just means because of how amazing it is over there. He is learning so much. He's becoming a better player. He even said, as far as his lifestyle, he is having a great lifestyle. He's having a great time. He's having a fun experience in and off the Rift. So that is very, very obviously exciting to hear. He says he's learning so much, which, again, he's 28 years old, but he's also been a League of Legends player for however many years at this point, like over a decade. Something absolutely insane. The fact that he is still learning stuff, not only from the T1 main roster players and coaching staff and all that stuff, but from even the T1 Academy players themselves. That is so cool and so exciting to hear. But I know there was even somebody that tweeted at Wooloo the other day, and they were like, hey, could we possibly see Rekkles back as a support, maybe in the LEC at some point? And Wooloo was saying, oh, that would be cool. But Wooloo didn't really say yes or no or anything like that. But Rekkles himself seems to be saying, hey, no, I want to continue this thing in Korea as long as I can. His main focus is continuing this on in Korea. Now, obviously, it's not totally in his power. There has to be a Korean team that wants to continue signing him, continue contracting him and having him as a player. But he does say he doesn't know, when he's going to be done or where this journey is going to take him or how long it's going to be or whatever. But he would love to continue this journey in Korea. And it doesn't sound like he has any plans of coming to Europe. Now, again, that doesn't mean anything official or anything like that, but at least Rekkles' main plan and his first kind of priority and goal is not to come back to Europe and is to finish out his career as a Korean support, whether that means, Academy or LCK or whatever. And he's just super happy and super excited to get to be a part of, obviously, this amazing organization of T1 and to get a chance to help them out at Worlds, which I also think is very, very cool. He does talk about some of the differences between the West and the East as well. He talks about how the West sees things really, really small. They look at the small picture, and I think that's pretty interesting because he's mostly talking about in the game how the West is like tunneling on kills and they're not necessarily making map plays or building up gold leads or whatever. And all the time we see the West, up 5 kills but down 2,000 gold, and he thinks that's just because of the wrong ways they're looking at the game, and he's learning the right ways to look at the game and learning at the bigger picture and all that stuff. But I also think it's kind of relates to how they look at things out of the game as well, because that's something else Rekkles talked about in this interview, something so interesting, how he talked about when he's behind the scenes with T1 in the coaching room and stuff like that. And I've seen so many pictures on Twitter of Rekkles like in the background of all the coaches and stuff, and it's so cool to see that he's getting this amazing experience, and I'm so happy for Rekkles, obviously as somebody that's followed his career for so long. But he says, T1, even though they're coming in as the LCK 4 seed and they're making these upsets of beating these LCK and LPL teams that they weren't expected to be beating or shouldn't be beating because they barely made it to Worlds and all this stuff, they're not even happy. They're not excited when they win a team fight or get a Baron or even win a match, because when they're at Worlds they are expecting to win it. They are wanting to win it. They don't care if they're the 4 seed. They don't care what happened the rest of this year. They're at Worlds. They expect to be the tournament favorites, and in their eyes they are the tournament favorites, and they want to win the whole thing. And I think that mindset, again, plays to some of the small-minded versus bigger picture, maybe from the East and West, like where if the West is going into a tournament not expecting to win, how are you going to actually win? Where if T1 actually expects and kind of visualizes and sees themselves winning, and anything less than winning is not even an option, that's when you actually have the confidence and possibilities and opportunities to actually do this thing and to actually win it. Another big thing that Rekkles did talk about in this interview that I thought was very cool is he says he could definitely see himself and wants to be a coach at some point in his career, and I think that would ultimately be his return to Europe. Maybe he would stay over in Korea. I don't know. It's definitely a possibility. Obviously, like I said, he definitely likes it over there. He says he wished he did it sooner. He's learning the language. He's loving life. But he just says that he cannot see himself as a head coach, and he would definitely want to be an assistant coach or a bot lane coach or something like that. So it does seem like, at least in Rekkles' mind, he will be around League of Legends for many, many years to come, which that's definitely very, very exciting to hear. Obviously, Rekkles is an insane personality, an insane talent, an insane mind for the game. He also talked about how in Korea there's just so many Capses. He speaks so highly of Caps. He thinks Caps is really the only player in the West that has any chance or gives any team a chance at doing anything. He says Caps understands the game. He's an insane talent. He gets that bigger picture stuff. But he said it's crazy over in Korea getting to play, and he's just so excited seeing so many talented players and so many brilliant minds and so many players that are just really, really awesome and understand the game and want to win and want to be great, and he just doesn't see that in the West. So again, he doesn't really see a point of returning back to the West once you have been over in Korea. So I also do wonder, depending on how this all eventually plays out for Rekkles, if he's going to maybe inspire even more players to move over to the East to try and make it in Korea, or try and build up a career as an academy player and go to the main roster and stuff like that. Obviously, it's a big move. It's life-changing. It's risky. It's crazy. But Rekkles so far seems to really, really be enjoying things. And again, as far as he's saying, I wouldn't necessarily be expecting to see him in the LEC in 2025 or even anytime soon if he has any say about it. But yeah, pretty exciting stuff. Again, you guys should go definitely check out this video. I'll link it down in the description below. I thought it's an awesome interview, and it's always great to get to hear from Rekkles, especially in a long-form thing like this. This is an 11-minute video. This is very, very cool. But of course, as always, all of our coverage of Worlds, offseason, all that good stuff here on YouTube is powered by Holy. Make sure you guys go check them out. First link in the description below. Great tasting energy drinks that just so happen to be healthier in the competition as well. So many cool, fun flavors. The packaging is crazy. This is pomegranate piranha, fun flavors, fun stuff like that. It tastes great. Yeah, check it out. Use discount code SE5. Like I said, first link in the description below. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.